Alright, in this video I'm going to mix it up a little bit and do this arts and crafts skeleton in a fire thing, and then I'm going to hit up some of these pizza pops. But before I do that, I'm going to have to make this skeleton in a fire thing with my kid, and pretty easy to make. If you have some spray foam at home and some spray paint, that's really all you need. For the base I'm using drywall, but cardboard or plywood would work just as well. I got a bag of skeleton bones for 10 bucks from Home Depot. I got black flat paint, and I got red shiny paint, and then obviously I got the spray foam, and I got a big rat's nest of orange lights. I think this is actually a spider web of orange lights, but anyway, this is what I got, and that's everything I use for this. So the first thing I do is lay down sort of an exterior row of spray foam, and I'm going to try and do my best to make that look kind of like rocks. I have a partial bottle of spray foam that I'm going to use first, and then I'm going to grab the full bottle of spray foam, and I'm going to come around and I'm just going to make it look a little more rocky as opposed to this, which looks like just a big string of spray foam. And then once I got the exterior done, trying to make it look like a fire pit, I'm going to try and make some things that look like logs in the middle. And this first layer is to add a bit of a three-dimensional aspect to this, make it a little bit higher up in the air, add some depth to that fire, if you will. And then I'm going to take this big strand of 50 LED lights, and I'm going to drop it in on top of the initial fake logs that I made out of spray foam. It's going to look better later. And then obviously you got to have the plug-in hanging out of the fire pit. So that's how you were going to illuminate this thing. And then I'm going to take the spray foam again, and I'm going to make even larger logs on top of this with the spray foam again. And pretty much the same thing. No real rhyme or reason to how I'm doing it. For the most part, I'm trying to cover up the wires, so it's not quite as obvious that it's strands of wire underneath all of that, even though obviously to illuminate this it's going to have some sort of lights in it. But I'm burying the wires as much as possible and then adding sort of that three-dimensional depth to this thing. So it doesn't look like a fireplace yet, I realize that. Now, before the spray foam hardens up, I'm going to take those bones and I'm just going to set them into the spray foam. And since the spray foam has a little bit of dampness to it, a little tackiness, those bones are going to sink in a little bit, and it's going to look like they were sort of in the fire, as opposed to if you put it on afterwards once it hardened, it would just kind of look like it's sitting on top of a log. So this way it kind of looks like they've sunk in, and we're just sort of feng shuiing it around the fire pit. And yeah, I realize it doesn't look like too much just yet, but it does turn out pretty well, I think. So get the kids in there. Obviously, if you're gonna do spray painting, be careful with the kids, and then, you know, make sure they don't touch the spray foam, because that stuff pretty much sticks to everything. I'm not gonna use all of the bones in here, but definitely the hands are good. The spine is a pretty good one. I think for the skull, I'm gonna have to hollow it out and jam a light in there just to add some luminance to it, because as it is, it's a little dark, but you'll see that later. Now I'm going to take this bright red spray paint and I'm going to hit the low spots. So I'm going to try and make it look like embers, like there was a fire there, and the wood or the bones are red hot. So that's the intent anyway. And then, like I said, trying to get it into the low spots, so where the fire would be. And then once the red is on there, I'm going to take the black and I'm going to go really heavy on the black for where the rocks are. So the entire ring, I went real heavy on that black, and I covered up everything that would be sort of considered rocks. And then I'm taking the black and I'm sort of filling in the upper portions. So the top portion, making it look like ash with the coals underneath. And then obviously go into the garage, plug it in, and this is what you get. It's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I think the skull needs something inside of it. It's kind of this void of light, but the hands look really good, I think, and the spine looks really good. I think I'm just going to come in underneath the skull and jam in a yellow light as well. So anyway, that's what it looks like. Pretty fast, pretty easy, good craft you can do with your kids, and then obviously on Halloween you can jam this in front of your house and have an absolutely spooktacular Halloween. And anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.